My name is Sarah, and I never thought my life could change because of something as small as a wallet. Ethan and I had been together for 8 years. We had built a life together, a life I thought was grounded in love, trust, and honesty. But one evening, a simple mistake changed everything. This is the story of how I uncovered a secret that shattered the foundation of our relationship. Ethan was the kind of man who seemed too good to be true. Thoughtful, charming, and dependable. He remembered every anniversary, always opened the car door for me, and made me laugh when I needed it the most. Our life together felt like a dream. We had just celebrated our 8th anniversary with a romantic getaway, and I thought we were closer than ever. But looking back now, I realize that perfection can sometimes hide the darkest secrets. It all started on a Friday night. Ethan came home late from work, his tie slightly loosened and his briefcase in hand. He kissed me on the cheek and apologized for missing dinner, blaming a last-minute meeting. As he changed into something more comfortable, his wallet fell from his pocket and landed on the floor. It wasn't unusual. Ethan was always a little careless with his things. But that night, something felt different. I picked up the wallet to put it back on the dresser, but it fell open in my hands. Inside, tucked behind his credit cards, was a photo I didn't recognize. It wasn't a photo of us. It was of a woman, smiling, her arm around Ethan, both of them looking happy and carefree. My heart sank as I stared at the photo. Who was she? Why was her picture in his wallet? When I asked him about it, he barely glanced at the photo before dismissing it. "Oh, that's from a work event," he said casually. "She's a colleague. We were at a team dinner." His explanation sounded plausible, but something about the way he avoided my eyes made my stomach churn. I wanted to believe him. I told myself I was overthinking. But that night, as I lay awake in bed, my mind wouldn't stop racing. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing little things I'd never paid attention to before. Ethan's phone was always on silent, and he seemed to guard it more closely than usual. He started coming home later, with vague excuses about client meetings and traffic. One night, I noticed a receipt on the kitchen counter, 2 glasses of wine and an expensive dinner at a restaurant I'd never been to. When I asked him about it, he smiled and said it was for a client dinner. But why was there no mention of it before? The doubts grew louder, and I knew I couldn't ignore them anymore. One evening, when Ethan was in the shower, I decided to check his wallet again. My hands trembled as I flipped through the contents. This time, I found more than just a photo. There was a receipt for a hotel, dated last weekend, when Ethan had told me he was working late. And then, tucked behind the hotel receipt, was a card. It was handwritten with the words, "I can't wait for our next getaway. Love, Mia." My chest tightened. Mia? Who was Mia? When Ethan came out of the shower, I was waiting for him at the kitchen table, the wallet and its contents laid out in front of me. "Who is Mia?" I asked, my voice calm but trembling underneath. His face turned pale as he looked at the card and the receipt. For a moment, he said nothing, his silence louder than any excuse he could have made. Finally, he tried to explain. He said Mia was just a friend, that the hotel receipt was for a group event, that the card was a joke. But his words felt empty, like they were stitched together in desperation. After hours of back and forth, Ethan finally admitted the truth. Mia wasn't a colleague or a friend. She was someone he'd been seeing for almost a year. He said it started during a rough patch in our relationship, that he didn't mean for it to happen. But those words didn't make it any less painful. The man I thought I knew, the man I trusted with my heart, had been living a double life. Betrayal doesn't just hurt, it changes you. It makes you question everything, not just about the person who hurt you, but about yourself. Ethan's lies destroyed the life we'd built together, but they also taught me something. Trust is fragile, and when it's broken, it's almost impossible to repair. This was my story, and now I'm learning to rebuild. not just my life, but my faith in myself. Because I deserve a love that's honest, a love that doesn't hide behind secrets.